fully integrated vehicle. The teams in Starbase completed a static fire test of Starship's Super Heavy booster, firing 31 Raptor 2 engines simultaneously for the very first time. This static fire test produced 7.9 million pounds force, or about 3,600 metric tons of thrust, and it was one of the last major milestones before Starship's first orbital test flight. It is a super exciting time to be here at SpaceX, and we're looking forward to Starship's orbital test flight coming up soon. On your screen is Falcon 9 at our Launch Complex 40 in Cape Canaveral, Florida. Currently, weather and range are both green for launch, and we're proceeding with a T0 time of 12:10 a.m. Eastern. On your screen, you can see the clamp arms pulling away from the vehicle and the beginning of transporter erector retraction. We're tracking liftoff just about 3 minutes and 40 seconds from now. And the next major milestone we're coming up on is liquid oxygen load, which we expect to complete at about T-minus 3 minutes.
Stage 1 LOX load complete.
There you heard that call out for Stage 1 LOX load complete, which means that at this point, Falcon 9's first stage is fully loaded with Rocket Propellant 1, or RP1 for short, and liquid oxygen, or LOX. We're awaiting the completion of LOX load on the second stage in just about 45 seconds. You can see some clouds forming around Falcon 9, but that's definitely nothing to worry about. The gases above the LOX tank are venting out into the Florida atmosphere to maintain a constant pressure. And when that gas comes into contact with the air, it makes actual clouds. And again, in just about 20 seconds here, we'll have Stage 2 finish up LOX loading, at which point the vehicle will be fully fueled.
Stage 2 LOX load complete.
With that call out, Falcon 9 is now fully loaded with 1 million pounds of fuel and liquid oxygen. Of course, reusability is the key to SpaceX's success, and the booster you're seeing on screen is flying tonight for the 12th time, having previously supported Nilesat 301, Axiom 1, Inspiration 4, GPS 3, Space Vehicle 4 and 5, in addition to 6 previous Starlink missions. After liftoff and stage separation, we'll be planning to recover this booster again today. We're targeting a landing on our drone ship, a Shortfall of Gravitas, which is currently stationed east of Florida in the Atlantic Ocean.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
We just heard that Falcon 9 is on startup or on internal power. This means that the batteries on board the first and second stages will take over the management of Falcon 9 on launch and ascent.
Go for launch.
Love to hear that call out. The launch director has given us the final go to proceed for tonight's launch. So let's sit back and watch as Falcon 9 takes our 55 Starlink satellites into space.
T-minus 30 seconds. Fifteen seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Engines full power. And liftoff of Starlink 5-4.
People's pitching downrange.
If you're just joining us, we are at T plus 30 seconds, and Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 at 12:10 a.m. Eastern Time.
Power and telemetry nominal.
Falcon is supersonic.
With that call out, we hear that Falcon 9 is traveling faster than the speed of sound, around 770 miles per hour.
Max Q.
That call out is for max Q, which is the period of maximum dynamic pressure the rocket will feel during flight. So right now we're about 1 minute away from several events happening back to back. The first is going to be MECO, or main engine cutoff, where all 9 of the Merlin engines on the first stage shut down. Then we'll see stage separation, where the first and second stages separate from each other. Followed by second engine start 1, where we light the Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage for the first time. And then we'll have fairing separation, where the 2 fairing halves separate away from each other and fall back to Earth.
Stage separation confirmed.
Separation. And back in.
Fairing separation confirmed.
Incredible views on our screen here. You just heard and hopefully saw that we had successful main engine cutoff, stage separation, second engine start 1, and fairing separation. Both of the fairing halves flying on today's mission are flight proven, just like our booster, with one half flying for the 5th time and the other for the 8th. We'll attempt to recover these fairing halves again tonight on our recovery vessel Doug, and then potentially use them to support a future mission as well. Stage 1 and Stage 2 are both following nominal trajectories, and currently the first stage is on its way back to Earth towards our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas. Our MVAC engine has been lit on the second stage, glowing orange on your screen there, and this burn is expected to last about another 5 minutes. As a reminder, Starlink is a satellite internet constellation designed and manufactured by SpaceX to provide high-speed, low-latency internet to people living in remote and rural locations around the globe. We're currently live in 47 countries and 59 global markets. Beautiful views of Stage 2 on your screen, which you can see is still picking up speed and altitude on its way to space.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Call out there that both vehicles are still headed in the right direction. And in just about a minute here, we're coming up on our first
acquisition of signal, Bermuda.
Entry burn 1. That'll be the first of 2 burns for the first stage. Again, if you are just joining us, you're looking at a view of stage 1 on the left and stage 2 on the right. We're just about T+6 minutes into a successful mission so far.
Expected loss of signal, Cape.
Stage 1 entry burn startup.
Stage 1 FTS has safed.
Again, on the left-hand side of your screen, you're watching Stage 1's entry burn, the first of 2 that we're going to see on tonight's mission. Stage 1, which is also known as the booster, has now ignited 3 engines to slow it down for atmospheric reentry.
Stage 2 FTS has saved.
Stage 1 entry burn shutdown.
As a reminder, the first stage that we're seeing today has been launched 12 or 11 times previously to today. Today is its 12th mission, and we're coming up on its 12th entry burn.
Both vehicles are following nominal trajectories.
Awesome views on the grid fins there on the left side of your screen.
Stage 1 transonic.
You just heard that the first stage is transonic, which means it is traveling near the speed of sound on its way back to Earth. In just about 30 seconds, we should be coming up on landing bird for the first stage for the 12th time.
Stage 2 terminal guidance.
Stage 1 landing burn.
Stage 1 has now lit 1 engine to prepare for landing on our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas. This final burn slows down the rocket and will help it land on the drone ship.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy. Stage 1 landing confirmed.
Falcon 9 has successfully landed on our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas, making this our 160th landing of a Falcon 9 first stage.
Nominal orbit insertion.
And there you've also heard a call out there of nominal orbit insertion for the 55 Starlink satellites that are currently on board Stage 2. As you can see on your screen, we have had a successful landing of Falcon 9's first stage booster, and now Stage 2 is carrying 55 Starlinks into low Earth orbit. With confirmation of that successful landing and second engine cutoff, that'll wrap up our launch coverage for today. Be sure to check out our social media for confirmation of Starlink deploy. And pro tip, that's where you can see that killer Starship static fire video that we showed at the top of the show. Thanks for joining us for SpaceX's 209th overall mission and 10th mission of this year. We'll see you again soon.